Hello student, today I am taking class 8 social science, civics chapter 4 understanding law. My dear student, today we will study about what is the law, how it will be applied to all, what are the laws in ancient time, what are the laws which is made by colonial periods, what are the Sedition Act of 1870, how do we made new laws it will become about. What is unpopular and controversial laws? As you know, you are familiar with so many laws. Laws such as that it specify the age of marriage, at which age you can give, person can vote, and perhaps we even know the laws which is dealing with buying and selling of the properties. So we know that the parliament who is in charge, this is the parliament who is in charge of making laws. Do these, but questions comes, can these laws apply to everyone? Everyone is follow these laws. Second, how do new laws come into being? Third, could there be a law that is unpopular or controversial? What will happen for that? And what should be we as a citizens do under such circumstances? So all these questions which is coming in our mind, we will solve in this topic. So see that, do laws apply to all? Now we can see one example. I am reading the passage. See here, a government official help his son go into hiding. Why? Because his son has been given 10-year jail sentence by district court for a crime that is committed. Now do you think that the government officials actions were right because they had hide this? No, this action is wrong. Should his son to be exempt from the law just because his father is economically and politically powerful? No, it is not. All the peoples are equal. It is written in our constitution. So what we see, the above is clear case of violation of laws. We have seen because they hide their son. So as we read earlier in our books, the member of the constitution assemblies were agreed there should be no arbitrary exercise of power in independent India. They therefore, because of these situations not come, instituted several provisions in the constitution that would establish the rule of law, and that should be followed by all the citizens of India. The most important of these was that all persons in independent India are equal before the law. Now, question comes, can this law apply to all? Yes, definitely. See, the most important law in the Indian constitution is that all persons are equal before the law, and it means that the law cannot discriminate any person on the basis of caste, religion, gender, etc. Laws apply equally to all the citizens of the country, and no one, not even the president of the country, can be above the law. All the peoples are equal before law. Under the system of Indian law, any crime or violation of law has a specific punishment, and also there is a process through which the guilt of the person has to be established. Now, what type of laws in ancient India? See, during that time, the laws that were enforced during the ancient time were as follows. See, during that time in ancient India, there were innumerable and often overlapping local laws. Why? Because different communities were given the liberty to enforce the law according to their need. Now, see the next. In some cases, the punishment, the two persons receive the same crime, but it is differ from person to person depending on their caste, rich and poor and all this. So the lower caste being more ruthlessly penalized. So this is the law during ancient time. Can it is right? No, it is not right. No. Law during colonial period. What type of laws in colonial period? Mostly it is arbitrary in nature. Arbitrary means not based on any particular plan or decision in nature. See, ancient system of law started changing during the colonial period when the Britishers started their power in India and they controlled the power. The colonial rule did not establish rule of law in India either. The law was arbitrary, means not based on any particular plan or decision. For example, Sedition Act of 1870 and Rowlatt Act. See, Sedition Act of 1870. What is written on this act? According to this act, any person criticizing or they protesting against the British government, so they could be arrested without any proper trial. Consequence of the Sedition Act of 1870 was what they had written? Indian nationalists can all will be sit quietly? No. So the Indian nationalists raised their voice against this arbitrary use of authority by the British. Next, they began fighting for greater equality and wanted to change this idea of law from set of rules that were forced to obey or laws are upholding the idea of the justice. Next, by the end of 19th century, what happened? The Indian legal profession began emerging and they demanded respect in colonial courts. Indian judges began to play a greater role in making our decisions. After that, therefore, the Indians played a major role in the evolution of rule of law during the colonial period. You know, when the Indian constitution came into existence, so laws for the country began to made by our representatives in the parliament. Do you know? The Indian parliament, as we know, is supreme law making institution of the country, and every year our representative they pass several new laws and revise the existing ones. So in this way the process is going on. Now next question, how this new laws come about? Now the parliament makes the laws for the entire country, and whenever the people think that a new law is necessary, so they propose their political representatives sitting in the parliament, and then the parliament does some needful things for the peoples. This is the reason due to which the parliament has to be sensitive of the problems faced by the people. Now, see some laws. Laws on domestic violence, Gharelu Hinsa. See, domestic violence refers to injury or harm or threat which is caused by an adult male, usually the husband, against his wife. Injury may be caused by physically or any emotional abuse of the women. Abuse of the women usually includes verbal, sexual and economical abuse. So the issue of domestic violence was raised by the people and it was brought to the attention of the parliament. After that, what they done? Which in due course passed a law that is called Laws on Domestic Violence. Do you know? The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 extend the understanding the term domestic to comprise all women who live or have lived together in a shared house with the male members who is executing the violence. So the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act came into 2006. So they made this new law according to the need. Next, okay, sometimes the government is making the law, but can law is useful? How the people? So people can voice their needs. How? See, the role of citizen is crucial in helping these parliament frame different concerns the peoples might have into laws. So the voice of the citizens, it may make an impact to every stage of making the law. See, they can get themselves heard through. How they heard through? Print media like newspaper, broadcast media like TV, radio, meetings and petitions, etc. Now, sometimes some laws are controversial. So we will read here what is unpopular and controversial laws. Now you see, some laws which are passed by the parliament and have been unpopular and it is not accepted by the peoples, so that will become unpopular. Sometimes a law can be constitutionally valid but hence legal, but it cannot continue to be unpopular among the people. Why? Because they feel that the intention behind is unfair and harmful. That is why the people will be not accept these type of laws. In India democracy, the citizens have right. We have right to express our views in case they are not happy with particular law. People can. So how they can? Write their views in the newspaper. They hold public meetings against this issue. They report to TV news channels. They express their unwillingness to accept this repressive law which is framed by the government. So when large number of the peoples, they began to feel that the wrong law has been passed, then there is a pressure on the parliament to change the law. So in this way, these laws will be changed. Now we can see one example of this controversial law, how it will be solved. See here, various municipal laws on the use of space within the municipal limits often make hawking and street vending illegal. Do you know? There is no doubt about the necessities for some rules to keep this public space open so that people can walk on the pavement freely. But you have seen so many vendors are sitting there and they are selling their products. So hawkers and vendors give easy excuse to essential services to millions of the people living in the city. Now besides this, is there any means of livelihood? Yes, it is because this reason that the municipal law prohibiting street vending become unpopular. What they are doing? So it is important to remember that in a democratic country like India, people have full right and responsibility to protest unjust laws. We should bear in mind that it is the extent, involvement and enthusiasm of the people participation, so that help the parliament to perform its representative and law making functioning properly. Now, so what we have studied, how we can understand the law, what are the different type of law, domestic violence law, these controversial laws, how the peoples can make, if they are not agreed with this law, they can make their voice and go against this, and in this way the government is taking the new decision. Now see the question and answer. State one reason why do you think the Sedition Act of 1870 was arbitrary. In what way does the Sedition Act contradict the rule of law? You know that it was arbitrary because the definition of sedition was very broad, and according to it, what is written? The British could arrest or detain any person they wanted. So the Sedition Act of 1870 contradicted the rule of law because there is no scope for holding a proper trial of judge whether a person was indeed guilty of the offence that had been convicted or not. Do you know the act permitted arresting Indians without due any trial if they protect or criticize the British government. Can it is right? No, it is wrong. Next, what do you understand by domestic violence? List the two rights that a new law helped to achieve women who are survivors of violence. See, domestic violence, it refers to injury, harm or threat of injury or harm caused by adult male, usually the husband's against his wife. Injury may cause by physically beating up the woman or by emotionally abusing her. Against his wife, injury may be caused. Now, abuse of the women include verbal, sexual and economic abuse. Next, see, the two rights that a new law of protection of women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 help to achieve women's survival? How? See first, right of women to live in shared household with protection against violence. Second, right of women have survived domestic violence to receive monetary relief in order to meet their expense including the medical cost. Third question, can you list one process that was used to make more people aware of the need of the law? Yes, see, more and more people were made aware of the need of the law through the process of public discussion. Write in your own words, what do you understand by term rule of law? In your response, include fiction or real examples of violation of rule of law. Rule of law means that every citizen of the land shall be governed by some set of laws, and there shall not be discriminate on the basis of these religion, caste, class, gender. Any person violating the law of the land shall be dealt with according to the process led by the law. Like an example of violation of the rule of law, a rich person bribing officials to escape punishment for his crime. So it is wrong. Next, state two reasons why historians refuse the claim that the British introduced the rule of law in India. Because of these reasons. See, the laws under British rule was arbitrary, not accepted, and rules could use those laws any way they wanted to arrest Indian without trial. Second one, the Indian nationalists played an important role in the development of the rules of law. They protested against these unjust law. Next, see, extra question, which bodies make law for India? The Parliament makes the law for India. Which law, what can law not to do? A law cannot discriminate against any citizens or on the basis of caste, class, gender, religion, etc. Who introduced the rule of law of India? The Indian nationalists. They introduced the law in India. Is the protection of women from domestic violence act as civil law or criminal law? The Protection of Women for Domestic Violence Act 2005 is a civil law. Now I am starting the new lesson, chapter 5 of Civil Judiciary, Nyay. In this lesson we will study about what is the role of judiciary system in India, what is an independent judiciary means, what is the structure of courts in India, what are the different branches of these legal systems, and does everyone have to access to the courts? Now, as you see, in India we have the rule of law. Now, just we studied. What is mean that laws? Laws it apply equally to all the persons, and that certain of fixed procedure. Some procedure is to be need to followed when law is violated. So, to enforce the rule of this law, we have, how it will become? So, we have one judicial system that consists of some mechanisms of the courts that a citizen they can approach when a law is violated. See, as an organ of the government, the judiciary plays a crucial role in the functionings of Indian democracy. It can play this role only because it is independent. Now, what does an independent judiciary means? What is this? See, is there any connection between the court or in an area, the Supreme Court in Delhi? All these questions give the answer here. See, next, what is the role of judiciary? See, courts, what is the major role of court? Court take decision on very large number of issues like the sharing of river water between the states, or they can punish the people for particular crime, etc. So, the work of judiciary can be divided into following ways. See, dispute resolution. What does it mean? Means the judicial system provide a mechanisms of resolving the dispute between the citizens and the government, between the two state governments, or between the center and the state government. So, this comes under dispute resolution. Next one is judicial review. Judicial review as the final interpreters of constitution. Do you know the judiciary it also has a power to strike down particular law which is passed by the parliament, and if it believes that there is a violation of some basic structures of the constitution, so this is called judicial review. Upholding the laws and enforcing fundamental rights. Do you know every citizen of India can approach where? The Supreme Court or the High Court if they believe their fundamental rights have been violated. So directly they go to the High Court or the Supreme Court. See, for example, we are taking one example, then you know. Hakim Sheikh, an agriculture laborer who fell from a running train and injured himself and whose condition got worse. Why? Because several hospitals refused to admit him. So, time will be passed. So, on hearing his case, the Supreme Court made a rule that the Article 21, it is written on it, which provide that every citizens have the fundamental right to life. It also includes the right to health. It is therefore that they directed the West Bengal government to pay him compensation for the loss of suffered, as well as come up with blueprint from this primary health care with particular reference to the treatment of patient during an emergency. So the case was against Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti versus State of West Bengal 1996. So you have seen how the Supreme Court is giving the decisions. Next, what is called an independent judiciary? See, again we can see one example. Imagine a situation in which a powerful politician has encroached on land belonging to your family. What you do? So, within this judicial systems, the politician has the power. They can appoint and dismiss the judge from his office when you take the case to the court. So, judge is clearly partial to the politician. During that time, what an ordinary person can do? So, you see here, we are having an independent judiciary is one in which this judicial system has a freedom. They has a freedom to perform its functions without any interference from any government in power. Nobody can interfere on the decision of the court. One aspect of the independent judiciary is separation of the power. How? Which is the key features of the Indian Constitution. This means that the branches of the state, the legislative and the executives, they cannot interfere in the work of the judiciary. Do you know the court are not under the government and not act on their behalf. They are free. Now, it is important that all the judges of the High Court and the Supreme Courts are appointed with very little interference from those other branches of the government. One appointed to this office, any judge, they will appointed in, so it was very difficult to remove a judge. No government can remove the judge who are appointed on the court. Do you know independence of this judiciary? It allows the court to play a central role. What type of role? In ensuring that there is no misuse of the power by the legislative or the executive. It also play, see, a crucial role in protesting the fundamental rights of citizen, because anyone can approach the court if they believe that their rights have been violated and nobody can stop them. Next, what are the, so now we can see what type of structures of courts in India. So we can see there are three different levels of the court in our country. First one is the district level, state level and national. So at the district level, or we call it tehsil level, we have subordinate district courts. They can hear many kinds of cases and each states have been divided into districts that are presided over by the district judge. Next one is the state level. You know, at the state level we have several high courts. The high court is the highest judiciary authority in the state. Next one is the Supreme Court. As it is the Supreme Court is the top, the Supreme Court of India is the highest judiciary authority in the country. Do you know? It is located in the New Delhi and it is presided over by the Chief Justice of India. Now, decision which is made by the Supreme Court are binding on all other courts in India. The different levels of the courts are connected to each other. Do you know, in India we have an integrated judicial systems, so the decision made by the high courts are binding on the lower courts. And another way to understand this integration is through appellate systems, appeal that exists in India. Do you know? This means that a person can appeal to higher court if they are not believe the judgment which is passed by the lower courts and they are not satisfied. So, where they can appeal? In the high court or the Supreme Court. Now, are these different levels of the courts are connected each other? Yes, definitely, yes. So, see one example, then you understand. Now, you see in February 1980, Lakshman Kumar married 20-year-old Sudha Goyal and they lived in Delhi with Lakshman joint family. Do you know? On 2nd December 1980, what happened? Sudha died in hospital due to burns and her family filed a case in court. When this case was heard in the trial court, district court, 4 of her neighbors were called in a witness and they stated that what happened on the night of December 1, they had heard Sudha scream and had forced their way into Lakshman flat. And there they saw Sudha standing with her sari in a gunny bag and a blanket. Sudha told them that her mother-in-law Shakuntala and poured a kerosene oil on her and her husband had lit a fire. During the trial, what happened? The members of the Sudha family and a neighbor stated that Sudha has been tortured by her in-laws and they are demanding to bring cash from her house. So, apart from defense, Lakshman and his mother what she said? Stated that Sudha's sari had accidentally caught fire, they had not burned. Now, while she was heating milk. So, on the basis of this other evidence, what the trial court had given convinced that the Lakshman, his mother Shakuntala and his brother-in-law sentenced all 3 of them to death. So, this is the decisions given by this trial court. Now, how it will be linked? See this. So, what happened in November 1983? The 3 accused, they went to High Court to appeal. So, appellate system here. See, appeal against the verdict of this trial court. So, the High Court, after hearing the arguments of all the lawyers, decided that Sudha had died due to an accidental fire which is caused by kerosene stove. So, Lakshman, Shakuntala and Subhash Chandra were acquitted. So, this is the decision by the High Court. Now, see, so what happened? Now, during 1980, one group, a women group across the country, they spoke about against dowry death. And the women discussed about this. So many groups, they had done discussion, protested, and they protested against the failure of the court to bring the case to justice. So, the above High Court judgment deeply troubled women and they had demonstration. They filed a separate appeal against this High Court decision. Where they gone? In the Supreme Court through the Indian Federation of Women Lawyers. Now, so what happened? In 1985, the Supreme Court heard the appeal against this acquittal of this Lakshman and the 2 members of his family. So, the Supreme Court heard the arguments of the lawyers and reached the decision that was different from that of High Court. What? They found that the Lakshman and his mother guilty. but acquitted his brother-in-law Subhash because they did not have enough evidence against him. So now the Supreme Court seen how the decision, they are linked with one court to another, and the final decision is from the Supreme Court if any person is not satisfied by these courts. Now the next one, you see different branches of the legal system. We are having two different branches, criminal law and civil law. See the criminal law. Criminal law. These deals with the Conduct Act, that is defines as offence. For example, theft, harassing women to bring more dowry, murder, etc. What about the civil law? This deals with any harm or individual injury, for example, dispute that is relating to sale of land, purchase of goods, rent matters, divorce cases, etc. See, criminal law, it is usually began with lodging of first information report, that is called FIR, where they will with the police and who is investigating the crime, after which the case is filed in the court and it found guilty, so the accused can be sent to jail and also fined. Now, in civil law, a petition has to be filed before the relevant court by the affected party only, and in a rent matter, either the landlord or the tenants, they can file a case. Do you know? The court gives the specific relief. As for instance, in case between the landlords and the tenant, the court can order a flat to be vacant and pending rent to be paid. So in this way, these are solved. Now, access to the court. What does it mean? Right to give benefit. Now you see, when we talk about the procedure of the court, it is very long. It takes lots of time, money and all this. So sometimes the people feel they will not go to court. See, every citizen in India has right to justice through the courts. The court play a very significant role in protecting our fundamental rights. So while the courts are available for all, in reality, access to courts have also been difficult to vast majority of the poor in India, and the legal procedure which involve a lot of money and paperwork, and it also take a lot of time. That is why the people are not going to court. For a poor person who cannot read, write, whose family depend on daily wage, they mostly avoid the idea of going to court to get justice. So such situation, how they will get the justice? So see, public interest litigation, PIL. Now the Supreme Court in the early 1980s devised a mechanism of this public interest litigation, PIL, to increase access to justice. See, it allowed any individual or organization to file a PIL in High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights are being violated. They can directly go to there. The legal process was very simplified. Even a letter or a telegram addressed to the Supreme Court or the High Court, they could be treated as a PIL. Do you know, in the early year, PIL was used to secure justice on a large number of issues by which the people can directly send a letter and they get the justice. Cases where PIL were used. Which type of cases we can see? For rescuing bonded laborers from inhuman work condition, for securing the release of prisoners in Bihar who had been kept in a jail even after punishment term was complete, still they are jail, so they are released. For providing the midday meal that the children now receive the government, and the government added schools. Another issues that affect the common person access to justice is exclusive long time that the court or take or hear a case. So this extent of time period taken by the courts to decide the case and have given weightage to the phrase justice delayed, injustice denied. What does it mean? It means that when the judicial system is too slow it denies people the ability to take advantage of the law and protection that the government legal system provides. So delays are often caused by a system, because of the system so many cases then it can handle, and it also when one party to lawsuit used by delay tactics. Now there is no denying that the judiciary system has played a crucial role in democratic India. So it serves as check. Where we have to check? We have to check on the powers of the executives and legislature and protect the fundamental rights of the citizens. See, the member of these constitution assemblies had made a system, they had made a system of courts within independent judiciary as a key feature of our democracy. Now, so we had finished what are the law system in India, what are the independent judiciary, what are the different levels of the court, and how the final decision, if the person is not satisfied, they can go up to the Supreme Court. Do you know even Supreme Court is watching all the process which is going on our country, and even they are taking some decisions. Now see the question and answer. List 2, page number 57, page number 57, question number 1. List 2 reasons why you believe an independent judiciary is essential to democracy. The 2 reasons are because it provides impartial judgment, which is integral to democracy. Second one, it protects the fundamental rights to citizens. Next, page number 60, you read that one of the main function of judiciary is upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. So why do you think an independent judiciary is necessary to carry out these all important functions? See, an independent judicial system, it is very essential to carry out this upholding the law and enforcing fundamental right. It can free from interference. Only a judicial independent system of outside interference can give a trial to citizens irrespective of caste, class, religions and other problems. Reread the list of fundamental rights which you have studied in chapter 1. Now one question is, how do you think that the right to constitutional remedies, it connects the idea of judicial review? See, the right to constitutional remedies, it guarantees citizens the right to approach to the court directly if they believe that any of the fundamental rights have been violated by the states. Judiciary has the power, they can remove any law which is passed by the parliament according to it violates the basic structure of the constitution. Do you know the fundamental right? This is how the idea of right to constitutional remedies and judicial reviews are connected to each other. Next, in the following illustration, see the judgment: Supreme Court, High Court and Lower Court. So what is the work of lower court? They convicted Lakshman, his mother Shakuntala and his brother-in-law Subhash Chandra, sentenced all three them death. High Court acquitted these Lakshman, Shakuntala and Subhash. What the Supreme Court? They acquitted Subhash due to lack of evidence. Now, keeping the Sudha Goyal case in mind, take the sentence that are true and correct that are false. See, do accused took case in the High Court because they were unhappy with the decision of the trial court. True. They went to the High Court after the Supreme Court had given the decision. False. Do you know they cannot go to the High Court after the Supreme Court had, because the Supreme Court is the highest. So there is nobody can come down. Next, if they do not like the Supreme Court verdict, the accused can go back into the trial. False. The verdict of the Supreme Court cannot be appealed in the lower court. Next, why do you think the introduction of public interest litigation in the 1980 is a significant step in ensuring access to justice for all? See, before the 1980, do you know the litigation in the court was costly, and that time it is consuming affair. As a result of this, the poor could not afford going to get court and get justice. So that is why the mechanism of PIL by the Supreme Court in early 1980s, It gives increased access to the justice. It allows any individual or any organization, they can file PIL in the High Court or the Supreme Court on the behalf of whose rights have been violated. Now even letter, telegram addressed to the Supreme Court or the High Court could be treated as a PIL. Next, read it excerpt from the judgment of Olga Tels versus Mumbai Municipal Corporation case. Now write in own words what the judges mean when they said right to livelihood was a part of right to life. Do you know? Right to life conferred, it was written by Article 21, has far-reaching, it means more than just animal existence. This is the only aspect of right to life. And equally important, right to life is the right to livelihood, because no person can live without the means of living. Means, this is what the judgment mean, that they said the right to livelihood is a part of right to life. So nobody can remove the persons where they are living. Next, write a story around the theme justice delayed, justice denied. Now, Sunil Wu and his family, was killed in an accident. He left behind his wife and 3 daughters. Do you know? His wife filed a case seeking compensation and a job to meet the family expense, since the car that hit Sunil belonged to son of one local MLA. There was a political interference in this case proceeding. The case was transferred from one court to another. Do you know, this case lingered near about more than 20 years. And Sunil's wife and daughter, they started work as a casual laborer to run the household. Do you know, the wife borrowed money from the landlord to marry her daughter. Finally, 24 years later, the court awarded Sunil's wife a compensation of rupees 1 lakh. But you have seen the justice delayed is the justice denied. अगर न्याय बहुत देर से होगा तो उसका क्या उपयोग है? Do you understand the meaning of this? So this is the story. Now, so we have seen that PIL system is the best method by which the peoples can approach High Court or Supreme Court, and we studied what are the different type of judicial system in our country. Thank you.